Bare necessity, but simple bare necessity. Bare necessity, but simple bare necessity.
Hey there, it's Brie Bear, and it has been a long time since I've done a video like this. I have not done a bullet journal related video in a couple of years, and I wanted to come back and start doing bullet journal content again because I really regained my passion and really found a style that I liked this year. I finished out my last journal right at the end of 2020, so it was the perfect time to start a new notebook because of the fact that I usually I just go until the notebook is full, so I don't necessarily start a new one at the beginning of the year, but I did this time around because I finished out the notebook. This is my notebook for 2021 to start out. I'll probably need a new notebook, but it really just depends on how I decide to journal throughout the year. And as you can see, I have a lot of stickers on it, which is not something I normally do. I've never put anything on the outside of my journal before, but this time I did because I got a bunch of these vinyl stickers so that my bullet journal could be themed with the Avengers Initiative reading challenge, which is basically going to be one of the biggest parts of my life this year. It's going to be one of the leading elements of my time, and I just wanted to incorporate it into my planner and make it like a super Avengers year. So I put some of my favorite characters on the covers. On the front cover we have Gamora, Vision, Spidey, Loki and Thor, Scarlet Witch, Rocket and Groot, and of course Black Widow. Okay, and then on the back we have the chibi ones. So I did more comic style on the front, and then on the back I did chibi styles. I got a bunch of stickers, so I had a lot of options to work with. So I did Okoye, Bucky, Hawkeye, Doctor Strange, Nebula, Mantis, and a Stan. And I would have also tried to put on a couple of other ones if I could fit more. There are a couple of other characters that I really do love. One of them being Nick Fury, but I did not have any Nick Fury stickers in the I think I bought 4 different vinyl sticker packs, and not a single one had a Nick Fury. That I need to look back again. There might have been the comic style one where he is Caucasian, but there is definitely not a black Nick Fury in it. And I was like, excuse me, I need an African American version, please. So let's dive in. I'm so excited to show you my setup. I just finished it up the other day, doing the last little piece that I needed, which you'll see what that was in a minute. Okay, so you first open up into the journal, and I started out with this cute little Spider-Man sticker. He has Captain America's shield, and he's saying, "Hey everyone." So I thought that was the closest thing to saying "hey there" that I could find, and so I put that in the front. My name, email, and my P.O. box for returning the journal. I haven't put anything in my index yet. I'll need to go back and do that. Here is my key setup. So I tried to do a very similar font to the Avengers font. So I found one that says it's the Avengers font, but it may not be 100% accurate on Pinterest. I downloaded the picture so I can pull it up for reference. I still need to clean up my edges on some of these, the space here, and so I need to go back with my white jelly roll and just clean it up. I use my white jelly roll as kind of a whiteout for certain things. It doesn't always work perfectly, but I find it's easier to use than the whiteout pins, which the last whiteout pin that I had dried out before I finished using it, honestly before I really got very far into using it, so I just didn't buy another one yet. I might try it again, but There you go. So I just marked like the numbers for how many dots across, or how many boxes across, how many boxes up and down, just to make it a little bit easier when I'm trying to do math. I know that a lot of people do the full grid page. Excuse me. And I love those full grid pages, but I have yet to actually ever remember to put one in my journal. So I need to do that either later in my book or like next time around do it. Maybe I'll do it in the back this time and then move it to the front on my next journal or something. I don't know. But that's my key, and I just put like the things that I thought of off the top of my head up here, and then I might add more things later. But I wasn't really planning on doing any kind of color coding this time around, which I normally do color code. So we'll see if I end up changing my mind a little bit as I go, if I need to add it back in. But I kind of just eliminated the need for color code, and you'll see a little bit of why in a bit. All right, so this is my Hello to 2021 page. So this is a goodbye 2020 with a Thanos sticker, and he's snapping and it says bye, and I am obsessed with this sticker, so I had to put it in for 2020 ending and for 2021 to start. So I actually made a mistake here, and I covered it up with a sticker and some white out on the edges, right here and here. You can't really see it on the camera, I don't think, but I just covered it up with sticker. I was like, well, there you go. And I actually had another page here and I cut it out because I made a mistake the first time as well. So I was gonna have a goals page after this, but I don't. Because I had to cut out the page that was before it, and I had already done the next page. So anyway, I also put my word of the year, which I had this brilliant idea to do my word of the year as initiative. And I'm obsessed, absolutely obsessed. So I put a couple of definitions for the word, and I put this arrow here to fill some space. And I guess I had to leave work when I was finishing this up. I never finished that. Oh well. But I just put some definitions, like I said, and then I probably will put like a quote or something down here. I don't know. We'll see. Just kind of winging it, because my original layout for this page was completely different, and I wasn't even going to have a 2020 on it. But I needed to fill this side somehow that was next to the stickers, so I just kind of worked with what I had going on. So flipping over, this is my prayer page. So on this side I have two specific prayers that I really love, and underneath the writing you can see these stamps I got off of Amazon, this really cool Avengers logo stamp, and I am obsessed. It is super cool and I love it. So I have that underneath, and then on this side I have my Post-its. So I do it as a dashboard so that I can remove things when they are no longer relevant. So certain things will always be there. My grandparents, I always want to pray for their health. Church growth, something I always want to pray for, but I may change how I'm praying for it depending on the circumstances. Say one of my grandparents is sick, then it may be something more specific that I want to add in, you know, that kind of thing. I hope you enjoyed that little interjection from Sam. I thought it was pretty good. So I just migrated what I had left over from my old journal, and I left this space blank. Normally I fill it entirely with Post-its. So normally I would fill it like entirely with empty Post-its at the ready type thing, but I didn't really do that because I just migrated what I had left over that was still relevant, and then I'll fill it in later, I guess, or maybe I'll just leave it. I don't know. We'll see. Flipping over this, I do think I need to add some, actually, now that I think about it, because I don't have any blank ones here, and this is important to have blank ones for. The next page is my shopping list. Oh, I don't think so this is my prayer list on this side, and then this is like two inspirational prayers that really mean a lot to me that I don't necessarily have memorized entirely. The Mother Teresa I have mostly memorized because I actually sang a song that had most of that prayer in it. but there were a couple of spots that were missing in that song of the prayer, so I wanted to write it down, so I have those added in there. And then the Serenity Prayer, which I don't have memorized entirely, although I have sections of it memorized. I haven't like necessarily tried really hard to memorize them, but I mean, I can just add them in my journal and have them in front of me, so it's okay. But like, that's why like the Lord's Prayer isn't in here, because I could recite that in my sleep. So flipping over, we have my shopping list dashboard. So I meant for this to be shopping list and wish list, but I had a mistake and my letters were way too big. So I had to improvise, and I just made it go across the rest of the way. And then I did now and later. So there you go. So these are things I need to get more in the immediate future. Oh, this is kind of irrelevant now. Maybe I'll just move that over here. I wanted to get some Christmassy cups, like a tumbler that has a straw type thing, and some Christmassy book sleeves, but I don't really need them anymore. And maybe I'll get some next year. I don't know. But the now side is things that I need to get more in the immediate future. And then the later is wish list things that I want to save up for mostly, or things that are not necessarily as pressing, and that I can get at any time. Or things that I get, you know, like pearl chic, for example. I could go and buy some jewelry, like get a few pearls and get some jewelry now, and then go and get some more in like 6 months or whatever. You know, like I can get it spaced out. So, alright, next page is my future log. And I majorly changed the game on my future log this year. I always did a Calendex on one side and an Alistair on the other side for the next few months after my Calendex ended. So it was like maybe 5 or 6 months on my Calendex, and then 6+ months of Alistair at the ready to fill in any additional things as I got closer to the end of my journal and needed to have a little bit of space to do even further in the future. But I decided to change it to Alistairs, like a full Alistair all the way across. So this will be like all January through December, and this is the same January through December the same year, but it'll all just list it down. So when I fill up this page, I'll just continue on this one. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I just felt like this is what I needed for my life now. I'm doing the same thing every day. I'm not really doing project-oriented work. I don't really have appointments the same way that I did before. And I don't really need, you know, 4 or 5 columns worth of things for each day. So it just made more sense to change it up a little bit and see if this works well for me, because it's easier to set up than a Calendex, and it keeps me from having to have colors always available. And I can always add C page if I need to have a reference page for more information on a topic. So I just decided to try changing it up a little, because as much as I love the Calendex, it wasn't really what I need anymore, and it was kind of taking up space and not really making use of it with the way that my life is these days. So moving on, we have my all the dates page. This page is kind of how I keep from filling this up entirely with holidays, birthdays, etc. So I haven't entirely filled this in. I had some that I already had in my head written down in my other journal type thing that I've put in, but I still need to add quite a few more birthdays for family birthdays that are like people I don't see as often, so I don't remember their birthday off the top of my head, and I would need to have it written down. But Yes, all the days page. So these next pages are something I wouldn't have in another journal, or I wouldn't have had in my journal before. And the reason is because I wouldn't have had the Avengers Initiative reading challenge before. So these next pages are specifically for that. And I love them. Ah, they look so cool. I love them. So this is for the Avengers Initiative reading challenge, and I basically have created a box for each month. And that box is intended to allow me to write in details for each month. And I kind of wish I had left an extra space to put in additional things, so I may try to figure out a way to incorporate additional in one of these boxes. I don't really know how I'm going to pull it off, but we'll see. So basically, I have a box for the live show information, so I can put what date we did the live show and what channel it was on, so whose channel it was on. Because each month the live show will happen on a different one of the hosts' channels. Underneath that we have watch-alongs, so we have 2 watch-alongs per month. So I put the date and which movie we watched. The boss battle, which I haven't put any information in yet because we haven't announced it yet. It'll be a pop-up event, so I didn't want to put any information ahead of time in the journal so that you guys wouldn't know what's coming up that we haven't announced yet. So I haven't filled it in, and I'll fill it in as we go, just in case I pop my journal open in a video. I don't want you guys to see any secrets. So I'll put in the boss battle when it comes up, but it'll be basically these are pop-up events. Go see my announcement video linked down below to get more information and details. But basically it's like a pop-up event throughout the year. We'll have probably about one a month. It'll be like a monthly challenge type situation. So then we have characters that are released that month. So I switched the placement of these a little bit this time around because I didn't really need, or because I needed a bigger box for the number of characters we released this month as opposed to in future months, which I miscalculated my measurements a little bit. So the bottom box right here is smaller than I wanted, but we're just gonna work with it. It's not perfect in my box measurement. I tried, but I miscalculated a little bit on what I wanted for all of these. So we're just gonna work with it. So that said, every month after January is placed a little bit differently. So it's live shows, watch-alongs, characters are just this little spot right here, and I'll just do the character name, comma, character name, comma, character name. And it's probably going to be like 2-ish characters most months, so I won't need a whole ton of space for, you know, it's only 2 characters' names. I can squish them in. It'll be okay. And then the boss battle, I chose a big box so that I have plenty of space to write in the information, because every month is going to be so different that I may need more space in the future because we haven't planned them all yet. So I may need more space in the future for them, and so I'd rather have started out with too much space than not enough. And then the special mission, which is the group book, is now kind of in a box that's a little bit bigger than it needs to be, but that's okay. Again, I planned this out differently than I ended up doing it. So we have January, February, March, April, and then Avengers Initiative reading challenge, and then May, June, July, August, and then schedule for 2021, and then September, October, November, December. So that is that. All right, so then we have some washi tape on the side here, and I decided to go with this American flag washi setup for this journal, I think. Is what I'm going to probably end up using for all the things, because of the fact that it fits the colors that a lot of Avengers-y things are, which is very American colors. So we have our red, white, and blues, black, you know, very modern colors, so black and gray neutrals. So I'm going with those colors for the whole journal instead of having each month be separate colors and color themes. I'm going to stick with these colors throughout the journal and just alternate between them. So I did a washi here because instead of doing things the way I did before, where I put my these bookmarks. I put it at the very first of the month, like on my monthly dashboard. I kind of changed it a little bit, and you'll see why in a sec. Alright, so here we are, January. So January 21. So I put that because I kind of just misspaced it again. So it is what it is. And again, I need to like fine tune some things, so ignore that. Down here I put the special mission, and I happened to have a Captain America sticker, so I used it. The shield sticker, not a Captain. I had a sticker for the actual shield itself, so I actually got to use that for the special mission box. And I didn't want to spell her name wrong, so I still need to write in her name here. But then the reward, or what you receive if you complete the special mission or the group book, is Captain America's shield. So then I put the character boards for each character that we are adding during this month. Now, normally, I'm not necessarily going to try to attain every single character, but I wanted their board in my journal so that I can constantly reference what is going on. If somebody asks a question on Discord and I'm sitting there and I can pull my phone out and see what the question is, I want to be able to quickly just flip to the page, see what they're talking about, and be able to answer without having to try to find it in my phone or anything like that. And also, because of the fact that this way I can pencil in ideas for what I might read for each character. So I put their name at the top, and then in this box it is their benefit or power. So their power or ability is basically what you get if you complete their board. And then I have the board set up so that above the dot in the blue writing is the prompt, and then below that I have a space to pencil in ideas. And then once I complete a book that completes the prompt, I can write it down in pen. And then if I change my mind and how I want to do them, I can always white it out. Once I complete the book, then I'm putting it in pen. So that's what I've got for that, so that I can kind of pencil in ideas and planning my TBR this way, because it'll probably shift a little bit here and there. And then I used character stickers for each page, and I went with the comic-ish theme. And I did a quote from each character, and it was very hard to pick just one quote. Holy cow, that was such a struggle. So I'm probably going to try to sprinkle in quotes throughout my journal that I really love from different characters, and like put which character it was, maybe put, if I have another sticker of them, put a sticker. If not, then I have a way to improvise for that, which I will show you. But yeah, so this is kind of the setup for the next several character boards, and I did alternating between blue and red. So we have Captain America's board, Iron Man's, and let me read you my quotes that I picked. So for Captain America, I chose "I can do this all day." For Iron Man, I chose "I love you 3000." For Hulk, I chose "Don't make me angry, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry." For Black Widow, I chose "I'm sorry, did I step on your moment?" For Thor, I chose "I am still worthy." Oh, Thor. Oh, it was hard to pick. I think I was stuck between two for his. Hawkeye is "I can see better from a distance." And Nick Fury, I was definitely stuck between two different quotes for his. I put "I still believe in heroes." Now, Nick Fury, I mentioned before, I did not have a sticker. So I actually printed this out at the size that most of these are, which is around 3 inches. So I made an artboard on Photoshop that was about 3 inches, found a PNG of him. If I hadn't found a PNG, I would have quick selected and done it that way, but I was able to find the kind of image I wanted and print it out, and it looks pretty darn good, all things considered. It's, you know, it's not perfect. It, of course, is matte instead of having that vinyl sheen to it. So it is matte, and it also is a little bit less color rich. The blacks are not as black as I would love them to be. It's pretty darn good, all things considered. After that, I go into like my regular January pages, or like my regular monthly pages. They're a little weirdly organized because I kind of made a couple of mistakes in my placement of them, but it's okay. So we go directly into my monthly log, which I went traditional for, and the way that I'm doing it is I'm just gonna leave like a block space between separate events. I normally would color code each one, but I'm not really gonna do that. I may go back in and separate them by marking each separate thing in like a different gray highlight, just to give them a little bit more division so it's more clear what's what and you can see them more separated. So we'll see that. So this is where I put my stripe bookmark. And then I have my task list, and I know I'm going to have extra space, so I popped in this adorable chibi Iron Man that I love. So I'm just going to like throughout in different spaces use some of my extra stickers, or use some of my stickers that are not for the character board ones. So I'll save some for character boards, but like throughout this month I can sprinkle characters that are from these boards that are January, and then they can go throughout the rest of the journal as well because we've already released them. Alright, so flipping over. Alright, then I have my media tracker, and this will be where I basically track everything I read and watch. So I have symbols to kind of help me organize it. I should probably go in and have like a separate part on my key to explain like media tracker key. I might do that to use some of that space so I can avoid having to do this at the top. So that's a good idea, and I'm probably going to do that after I finish this video. So then I realized that I needed to put in my pensieve, which I spelled wrong on accident, and I'm going to accept that. So I call it a pensieve. Yes, that is a Harry Potter reference, because it's where I put all of my, it's what other people would call a brain dump, where they just put anything that they need to just write down and get out of their head. Notes, things like that, all go here. So I decided I had this extra spot, and I sometimes have done a 1 line a day type journaling. I sometimes have done memories, and sometimes my memories are like a line, sometimes they are doodle, sometimes I just like draw a box, I like write my memory and then like draw a box around it. I've done like lots of different things for that, but I decided to do it a little bit different this time around, and I decided to do a handwriting practice. So each day, and I missed yesterday's already, so I'm already behind, I'll go in and do 1 line of practicing all the letters. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do like the quick brown fox type thing, or if I'm going to do straight through the alphabet. Alright, and then I have my tracker. Flipping over, then we can get to, oh, this is a blank space because for work I'm going to be moving, my position is changing just a little bit, and I'm going to be in the same room every day, so I may need space to write or plan about what we're doing each month and what's going on in our class. I may want space to do that, and so I wanted to have it up at the front just in case. And if I don't end up needing this for that, then I will either use it for something else, or I'll use it for some stickers and some doodles and some quotes and things like that. So then we move into my dailies, and so so far I haven't written in today's daily yet, so I'll do that in a little bit. But so far, starting out really strong. Yesterday I completed all my tasks, and I did start this last one. I completed all but The Little Prince, and I started reading that, so pretty dang good. So that's my journal setup for the front, and then towards the back I do not have my other things put in yet, so I will have a Postit Dashboard like this, where I can just like stick some Post-its in there and have them available. And then I'll put some things in the pocket, an ink blotter, some thank you notes, and like regular note cards that are not thank you, and then some note paper to use for scratch paper when somebody asks for a piece of paper, because I don't want to tear the back pages out of my journal yet. But I also had 2 of the Buy sticker, so I put the other one back here. And that's it. That is my 2021 start of the year bullet journal system. So we will see how it goes throughout the rest of the year. It may change over time. But one of the things that I want to focus on going into this year is having more fun using my journal and enjoying the process and not giving up on the aesthetic of it. Because in the past, I've alternated between caring about my aesthetic and not caring. So it's been kind of this alternation, and you can kind of see that throughout this journal. Ignore the lack of Post-its here. I, of course, moved the ones that I had in here that were still relevant into here. So these are irrelevant ones now. But you kind of get the idea. You can kind of see it's like moderate aesthetic. And then as I go, you'll see elements that are like weird and not cute later in the journal. So it was like I was trying a little bit here. I was trying a little bit. Even when I took notes, I had a mistake here. I actually took the time to cover it up and put something in there and make it look cute. Oh, that is a pretty dang good mood mandala, if I do say so myself. Even here, like, this is not that cute of a way to show that I made a mistake. I had blank space and I tried to like fill it in as I went through my journal. I tried to like make some use of blank spaces and like make them, you know, more enjoyably filled. But like throughout this whole front part, it's like decent, right? And then you get towards the back, and let me find. This is not a cute flower, don't look at it. This was kind of some scratch notes. But like here, there you go. September sucked. I did a terrible job with September. It just did not look good. This was an extra space that I was gonna use for something and never did the whole month. Didn't really try at this point, as you can see. And then I was like, oh, let's go back to brush lettered headers for each day. And then, oh, I changed things up at this point and I did like my schedule things a different way because I had things going on and I had like a lot of things happening for like different elements of my life, and I was like trying out block scheduling because at this point I was working from home. So I tried out some different things here. As you can see, some of them worked, some of them didn't. These are just me planning out my videos for this new year, and at the time they were, I think, over here. Yeah, and then I was planning them here, but then I moved them. So you can kind of see, even like my Christmas shopping page, not that cute, but it was effective doing this blocks method. It was very effective. So you can kind of see some of it, but then like the last little bit here at the very end, like even my planning for my new journal was ugly. And then this is just extra pages stuff, and accidentally putting this somewhere in the middle of my blank pages instead of at the end or at the beginning. And this was us playing games, so it didn't really matter. It doesn't need to look cute. It's just me tracking scores. So ignore that. But all of this is like extra space, but that I will use to try different things out like this. That's what I'll use this back part for. But you kind of get the idea that my goal is to like keep it pretty. And like, yeah, it's not always going to be pretty, but I can put a header and organized in the way that I write down the notes. There are certain pages that are, it's okay for it not to be cute. Like my pensive is not supposed to be cute. It's supposed to be a place where I can jot crap down. So it's not supposed to be cute on that page. And then extra space, I'm going to fill in with stickers so it doesn't look so bleh and like blank, and then it adds a little bit of cuteness to a page that normally would just be a like scratch notes or list or whatever. So that's my bullet journal. That's my planning at the moment and where we're at. If you want to know anything about my supplies, feel free to ask me down below. I can link the stickers if you so desire. Just drop a comment and I can link the stickers. I got them all from Amazon. I would have bought from Etsy, but it was kind of late in the game when I wanted to order them. So, and plus I was able to get like a bunch of packs, and then I'll go to Etsy when I want to get specific characters. So that I can get that specific, like this way I was able to get like a bunch of packs so that I had quite a few to work with of most of the characters, and then I can go in and like get specific things from Etsy. That's my grand plan. I do plan on getting more things, like more stamps and maybe some washi, but I'm not gonna like freak out over it or anything because I already have invested quite a bit into my stickers and stamps that I already have. I mean, quite a bit meaning like more than necessary, so it's cute though. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and again, make sure you check out the links down below and let me know any questions that you have or anything that you want me to add in the links. I will always add things. Just let me know if I'm missing something that I haven't added in the links. I am always willing to go back and add things in for you guys. So that is it for this video. I have more 2021, wrapping up 2020 and going into 2021 videos, either that have already come out or that are coming out in the near future. So either check those out or keep your eyes peeled. I don't know what order I'm putting these up in, so this probably will be like one of the later ones though. So go check out the ones that I've uploaded so far. I hope you guys have a great